for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
So this game of ours, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. 2 unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while, but 2 teams like this, and I remember in preseason you looked at schedules and said, I think these 2 are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So this CD, obviously such a big game, and we'll continue to talk about its importance as we go on. I thought it was interesting. This head coach in his weekly media availability, he was asked who he would lean on in a game like this, and he said it was all about the veterans.
And Brandon, I like his approach because he's obviously thought about this, right? Who can get me not...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. This is McCaffrey on the give. Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Allen now looks to throw. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
What a sensational effort. That's going to be a loss of 20. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Puts it on take this one back to the 36-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Sliding out of the pocket.
That's complete to Moss out of the backfield.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
2nd and 5.
Check, check, lucky. Check 3. Watch the whip. Back.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. K.J. Hamler returning it. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. On play action, Allen rolling to his right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And some room to roam now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Allen. Flush to his right.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off near the 32. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. There on the tackle, Minka Fitzpatrick.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
2nd and 9 now. And he whips that one incomplete there. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Bills are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Well, their first two drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
On play action, Allen.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll run forward with Barkley. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year. But you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Second and 6.
He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Watch 18. 18's the mark. Here we go. Get off the field. Mike 18. Watch the screen.
Looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's McLaughlin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So, Charles, a nice throw there by a man who, until this week, was the backup here, elevated to get the start due to injury. How different do you think this offense will be?
Well, the hope is not much, but obviously it's hard to say until you get out there and see how your guys respond. Unfortunately, this might just be a 1 or 2 week absence. But I do think that this unit has faith in him. They believe that he can play well, and they're going to band together to give him every opportunity.
Second and 4.
A carry here for Hunt. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. They find some open field here. The 30. 10. 5. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 84 yards. And the Bills have retaken the lead. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
On 2nd and 9, Allen eluding the pressure right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 14 yards and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Saquon Barkley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. With it on the return is Logan. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Hamler now to return it. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Allen off the play fake. Out to his left. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24. He's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hole.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Flushed out right. And Metcalf, what a catch. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 27. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. A
keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But
he's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
We're in the 3rd quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
152 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A handoff, Barkley running left. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. The Bills send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Browns drive about to get started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. They'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man complete. It's McLaughlin. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 27-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw again. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
163 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
safety Grant Delpit up to make the play.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Allen. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here we go on 4th down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Allen to throw it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And he fires one incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Bills are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. And they take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Buffalo, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.